Canadian Bulldog for wrestling merchandise and memories. That's merchandiseandmemories.com. And one of the most popular articles on merchandise and memories is something we call Let's Dissect the Hell Out of the Too Cold Scorpio music video. And while we don't have the copyrights to that song or video, we are going to dissect it right here. Just before we get started, wanted to let you know that merchandiseandmemories.com has more than 100 unique and conversation starting top 50 lists on its site. Check it out at bit.ly/top 50 lists. Too Cold Scorpio is one of those incredibly underrated stars from the 1990s that never seemed to get his just due, especially in WCW. Why didn't he fare better than he did? Perhaps his introductory music video that aired on WCW television hurt his chances somewhat. Our scene begins on the inner city streets. You can tell it's the inner city because the video is shot in black and white, with an annoying habit of random patches of the screen shot in color. If anything else captures the early 1990s style of production, I'd like to see it. With 4 kids on the basketball court, one of them squeaks, "It's cool, man, shoot the ball." "Man, I think I can make it, but my hands are cold," says another kid. Or at least, we think that's what he's saying. There is a lot of mumbling in this music video. This video is more or less the Hamlet of poor enunciation. The camera pans over to 2 young girls holding hands with an adult woman. The color square is only on the white girl. Wow, way to be racist, WCW. As she whines, "You're gonna be late for school." Ignoring this colorized white girl, the kid with the cold hands mumbles, "I can make it, give me the ball," as he prepares to sink a hoop that would make future WCW main eventer Karl Malone proud. All of a sudden, a limousine shows up. It's gotta be McMahon, right? A hip-hop beat begins playing as the color bar jumps around various parts of the limo, and the camera turns to the woman with the kids who sings in the most annoyingly shrill voice possible, "Everybody, here comes Too Cold Scorpio!" Unimpressed by the limousine and the awful singing, one of the basketball players trash talks to the effect of, "Man, you can't sink it." Cold hands indeed cannot sink the ball, as it misses the net entirely, bounces off the curb, and right through the awaiting sunroof of the limousine. As the annoying girl sings, "Too cold, too cold," in the background, our hero emerges from the limo, basketball in hand. With 2 of his funkats watching from the sunroof, Too Cold Scorpio runs onto the basketball court and slam dunks the ball, which is shown numerous times in NBA Jam arcade-style action. "Man, that was too cold," one of the school children mumbles. Perhaps that's how Too Cold Scorpio got his nickname? Decked out in shade, Scorp turns to the boys and mumbles, "Ain't you kids supposed to be in school?" "Nah, man, we're going to the game room," says one of the boys. At least I think that's what he was saying. He may have said gay womb, though that seems less likely. Scorp channels his own G.I. Joe style PSA and says, "What do you mean the arcade? You kids need to be in school trying to get an education." Too Cold Scorpio then offers to take the kids to school, which begs a few questions. How does Scorpio know where these kids go to school? A little creepy, no? How does Scorpio know when school in that community even begins? How is this Scorpio's business anyways? Is Cold Hands his nephew or something? And does Scorp just have his limo drive around from playground to playground, hoping that stray basketballs fly through his sunroof? "Are we gonna ride in the limousine?" one kid mumbles, to which Scorpio mumbles back, "Nuh-uh." "Are we gonna another kid mumbles, to which Scorp answers in the negative. "Tell you what we're gonna do, we gonna step," says Scorpio, just in time to see his funkats materialize on the b-ball court, and the 3 begin a choreographed dance number to the shrill voice of, "Too cold, Scorpio! Too cold, Scorpio!" Okay, a few more questions here. Won't stepping to school make them even later than they already are? Let them use the limo, man. Why is dancing to school any cooler than screwing off and shooting hoops and going to the arcade? And of course, what's wrong with these kids? If they'd actually gone to school, maybe they would know that it doesn't make sense to follow some creepy limousine riding stranger around. The next scene is a flurry of activity. Clips of 2 creep Scorpios' top rope dives and aerial moves are shown, interspersed with our hero dancing in front of a vintage 1990s green screen. At the same time, Scorp and his women are dancing with a group of kids that has somehow grown in number since the basketball game began. He's like the Pied Piper of WCW or something. Don't get in the limo, kids! And finally, let's take a brief look at the lyrics behind the song Here Comes Too Cold Scorpio, and please keep in mind I am not a professional musician. Everybody, here comes Too Cold Scorpio. Doom doom too cold. Doom doom da doom doom Scorpio. Doom doom da doom doom too cold. Doom doom da doom doom Scorpio. He's got rhythm in his blood. Knows all the latest moves. He's his own man and he does his own grooves. Who's his opponent? He don't care. Like the Gulf War brother, he attacks from the air. Doom doom da doom doom too cold. Doom doom da doom doom Scorpio. Doom doom da doom doom too cold. Doom doom da doom doom Scorpio. And so on and so forth. Do you remember the Too Cold Scorpio music video? Do you think you can sing the song better than I could? Let us know in the comments section below. Make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out merchandiseandmemories.com for much more.